this tool will stay open for as long as you want it to. We will work at your pace. So if you want to complete the information quickly, provide the evidence to us, that's great. Equally, if you want to take your time with it and submit things as and when they become available, also fine. What we've identified though is that because the self-assessment is so long and complicated, actually around 300 questions for a lot of facilities. We've now, just last week actually, we've delivered some training to our internal staff, to our teams in Bangladesh and other countries around the world to provide support to you for completing this application. So much like your perfect application for Standard 100, we now provide that same service for STEP. So if you apply next week, for instance, what we're looking to do is to provide a local service, somebody who can help you walk through that application form at the pace that you wish, providing the evidence, explaining to you what sort of documents we need, that sort of thing, with a desire to try and speed up that self-assessment process for you. So again, no pressure, it's at your pace, but we will be there now going forward to provide support with that. And that's based on feedback, because it is a complicated assessment. There is a lot of information we need. It might not always be clear what sort of evidence is being requested and is suitable. And so if we can have somebody locally to work with you on that, that's better for everybody. At the point where you want to submit and you say, right, we think we've got all of our information in our self-assessment, you submit that then to the auditor who will review. They will check, there might be some feedback back to you, and that might go back and forth a couple of times until we get pretty close, and we say 80%. So if we get 80% of the information, then we would be comfortable in arranging the audit, and we would come on site then and perform that assessment across those 6 modules that everybody talked about. We will come and verify the information on site and see if the things that your procedures say and the evidence you provided says is in fact the case, is lived on site, if the health and safety policies are understood by the employees, if the environmental conditions that you've described are accurate, that sort of thing. And obviously the interviews as well that Ibrahim talked about. So we would interview some employees, a sample of employees, to get their opinion. What do they think of the organisation? In terms of opportunities, educational opportunities, training, that sort of thing. Is that being provided? And we'll ask the employees' opinions as well. Do they feel that health and safety is taken seriously in the facility? Do they have the potential, the correct equipment that might be needed? That sort of thing. So that's a big part of the assessment as well. Once the audit's completed, a report will be written, and then if there's any findings, those findings will be reported to you. They will come back. There might be obligations which are mandatory to be implemented. There might be observations, things for your information, perhaps ways for you to improve. And then, all being well, a certificate can be issued. So STEP operates a modular scoring system. So for each of those 6 modules that we looked at, there is a minimum score. It's around 66%.